The following program was recorded at ARC Advisory Group's annual World Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida. I'm pleased to welcome ARC Director of Consulting, Russ Novak.
We're here today talking with Bill Muldoon, Executive Vice President of Aveva North America. We'll be talking about the adoption of interoperability. Bill, welcome.
Thank you, Russ.
We've heard a lot the last couple of days about interoperability and the idea of standardization is a necessary precursor to achieving a good level of interoperability. The issue of the implementation of 150926, everyone seems to be in general agreement it's a good thing to do, and yet we still have issues with interoperability. What do we need to do? What should be the next step going forward?
Well, Russ, it's interesting you bring this up because I am kind of passionate. Aveva is definitely working towards the standards that are being developed and helping in developing ththose, whether it's through field tech or prosthesia or stuff like that in those areas. I think we've done a good job as an industry, and frankly, myself and our competitors working together with EPCs and owner-operators to start defining the E and the P side of this thing. And I think where we start to see an opportunity for us going forward is on the C construction side, where we actually do workplace planning and start working on empowering the construction worker at the lowest level with information. But the problem with that is all underlies with making sure you have good engineering up front and the information is interoperable to carry that forward.
We've heard a lot talk about people, processes, technology. Heard a lot about the importance of technology, and yet there's been a couple statements made that technology is not really the bottleneck in moving forward. Do you agree with that? If not, what is?
Sure. I definitely agree. I think the technology vendors like ourselves have already stepped up to the game and we're kind of there. I think that companies have to embrace the processes and the people to support that. But I think what ends up happening is when you start to getting a common process in place, the work process that is, then you'll start to see the technology organizations go into there. So in interoperability, the way I look at it is that we can bring the information to a common place. We have to have the decision of the owners to decide how they want to use it going forward. And this takes it all the way to an operations side of the business, sustainment of the business, and actually decommissioning. So if you think of it that way, you have to look at the work process from feed all the way to decommissioning.
Interesting. You mentioned owners in this case, and we have heard from three different perspectives the last couple days: the owner-operators, the EPCs, and then of course folks like yourselves, the suppliers. What do you see does each group need to bring to the table in order to improve interoperability to a satisfactory level? So you got your owners, you got your suppliers, guys like competitors like yourselves, and then the EPC group.
Absolutely. I think in this one, the owner-operators definitely have a big play because they actually will push their needs all the way into the engineering firm and frankly to the suppliers. So what we'll start off with, I'd say in the owner-operator space, is that it's the operations. And this is was brought up key today, is that a lot of times when we look at the standards that we've been working on, it's been around CapEx, not OpEx. And I know that within your forum here that there's a lot of folks that are also from the automation and control side of the things. And I think as we start to see the IT and the automation organizations come together, the interoperability has got to go beyond just the engineering, procurement, and construction. It's got to go that handover right on into the operations and maintaining the facilities. The key is there's a lot of great data that's sitting out there and information that could be the underpinnings for things around process safety management, around reliability, risk mitigation, all those type of areas. And so that's going to be very key for the operators to actually push from an operations perspective and backtrack to the engineering side of it. With that being said, is the engineering firms have also put together good processes in place, but the owners will actually impose some of the things they're looking for. So if they're looking for data that might be important from a maintenance standpoint or an operating standpoint, that needs to be imposed to the engineering firm up front, not after the fact, which is typically what happens today. Now, us suppliers, I think we do have the capability of giving that to us, and I know at Aveva, we're very key to put out interoperability with our products going forward with that way, so that we may have a piece of the pie, and frankly in brownfield applications in North America, it's very keen because people have put a lot of other good systems in place. We've got to come together and be interoperable with our information, with their information, and create a greater value overall for the owner-operator.
So you've essentially taken care of the entire plant life cycle.
We have, yes, sir. I think it's really important for us to look at that as from a feed all the way to decommission.
Very good. Bill, thanks very much for being with us today.
Russ, thanks for the opportunity to come out and share my views.
We have been speaking with Bill Muldoon, Executive Vice President of Aveva North America.